What's up, everybody? Captain Gonzo here at Flysim channel. Check it out. I figured this song has that like that 80s retro vibe, right? A little bit of that synthwave. And what better music is there than to showcase the Chancellor, the C414 Cessna's like true pride and joy for twin piston powered aircraft. I mean, look at it, man. This thing is so good looking. It doesn't age, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, welcome back. We're going to be doing a quick hop. Well, not quick. It's going to be about an hour and 45 minutes airtime. We're taking the Chancellor from Birmingham, Alabama, and we're heading over to Charleston Air Force Base. We're going to be landing over there, see if we can steal a C-17. Just kidding. What up, Alpha? Hell yeah. IFR conditions up there. Altimeter 299.0, winds 120 degrees at 4 knots. I got to do a flight up there, man, especially with something like this. All right, guys, let me bring back the audio. I might keep the music playing for a little bit, just to give some ambiance. There we go. Hopefully I don't get copyright strikes. There goes a debonair. Cool. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump inside, right? If you have been living under a rock for the past couple of years, Flysimware gave us this beautiful airplane back in 2021, I think, or 2022. Of course, originally available for Flight Sim 2020. It has not been officially released for 2024. So what you're seeing here is just a ported version, right? I got it from my Flight Sim 2020 community folder and I just threw it in 2024, but it's very, very nicely detailed. You see, we got the drink holders, tray tables. We got the same thing over here. Do my sunshades work? No. I know the lights do once I get battery power on. This right here looks a little bit confusing, but what it is kind of like a mirror. I've seen real 414s, 421s, 404s in real life, and they do have this. It's kind of odd. I don't understand why they do that. Sometimes I can't even see it because it's completely blocked by garments, luggage, etc. So yeah, man, this is pretty cool. Very unique little plane. I love it. It is, I think, one of the first payware add-ons that I ever got for Flight Sim. So let's go ahead and jump up here because I want to show you. Again, if you're not familiar, you can go here and you've got an integrated or interactive, pre-flight. So we're going to press next. We're checking the cargo door or the passenger access door there, cabin entry. Here we are looking at it from the outside. It's open. Press next. There's your left wing locker. You can store baggage in here. You can see max baggage 200 pounds. Checking underneath the trailing edge here, looking at our left main gear. Can we stow this? Can we take away the tie down? No, we'll have to do it momentarily. There's your left nav light, or strobe light, actually. That's the strobe. Here's your nav light. Landing light is right there. There we go. I can remove those static wicks. Oh, hold on. Let me read. I see Alpha is over there talking to me. Name's Michael. By the way, I own my own business and contract for DOT Alaska as a rural airport maintenance worker. My dad flies and owns a 170 Bravo Cessna. Kind of my story into aviation. Yeah, I remember you said that you worked on some heavy equipment. That's pretty awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, and I'm glad you're learning, and this has helped your simulation and aviation industry or knowledge. Do take this with a grain of salt. Remember, everything I do here is for entertainment purposes, trying to show you how to do things the best way possible, but that doesn't mean I give it right every time. And I'll get back into that in just a few minutes, all right? But I appreciate the love, man. All right, we're looking at the vent here. This is where you can see your excess fuel draining out. Fuel cap, make sure she is in there. Yep, looks good. Left main. I wish we could sump. Can we sump? Oh, it does work. What? What? I didn't know that. I didn't know this. Flysimware. Hell yeah. That's awesome. There's that 100 low lead, making sure that we don't got any water or bugs. That is freaking awesome. I didn't know they modeled this. I'm so far behind. Okay, we're looking at the engine cowling. Here we go. Oh, dude. Okay, textures are okay. Almost looks 2D. No big deal. Let's close her up. Again, keep in mind the age of this airplane, guys, in the simulator franchise. There we go. We stowed the... Oh, that's cool. The retractable tie-down post. That is real. I do remember fishing for those when I used to work on these planes on the ramp. Oil dipstick. Okay, didn't really see much there. Yeah, Truck and Dad saying don't forget to dump it where the EPA approves. Yeah, I copy that. Let's take those inlet plugs. Yeah, those textures are a little rough. Yeah, that's rough, guys. But again, older add-on. Just let's focus on the actual flying part. It handles phenomenally. Again, I love this airplane. Look at the leading edge. I believe our heat exchanger ducts right here. Yep. That's good. Looks clear. We've got an antenna there. Is this another? No, that looks like a drain mast. Oh, the nose baggage is open. There we go. That's the heat exchanger right there. Duct, I believe. We're in the nose baggage compartment. And looks like we've got... Is that oxygen? Yeah, I think that's oxygen. I forget. Looking good. I mean, I love how old and just rustic this airplane looks. Again, that modeling, you can see the polygons. Like, it's okay, but I have to defend it, guys. It is quite an older add-on. I bet if they came back right now and they partnered up with like Black Square, or they started modeling akin to Black Square, they'd have an absolute banger. Okay, looks good. Check the oil dipstick over here. What's up with this music, man? This music gets really weird all of a sudden. I've got a random playlist in the background, and it just sometimes turns like too sentimental. All right, I don't need to check the cowling here underneath the engine. So this is 4 mil. Oh, that's the hydro fluid, I think, right? Yeah. And again, look at that texturing. Just looks like a photo. I can smell, by the way, the airplane. There's a distinct smell when you're opening these hatches and stuff. I don't know if it's me, but there we go. Checking that 100 low lead, not the 100. Otherwise, it would be green. Here we go. We got a better view. Oh, it's got the filter. Yeah, like the screen mesh. Good, 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 good. Okay, looks good. Yep. Nope, can't remove them there. Let's go back. All right, let's keep going. Yep. Is this where the ELT is at? There's our static ports right there. Okay. There we go. Static wicks. Tail tie down. Very important. Aha! Rudder gust lock. Make sure that is unlocked. You'll have a bad day. And I love how you have to remove every single side, right? The static elements per side. You don't just remove them all at once. Static ports look good. Empennage looks good. Leading edge, there's our DME antenna, I believe. Looks good. And we're back. All right, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Let's go back to the main setup here. Let's remove chocks, close cabin doors. Let's remove the control lock. I got to check my payload and what I add dispatch, 719 pounds. So let's go 60%. 754 out of 719. Let's see, max fuel is 1236. Okay. Let's go 64. There we go, almost 800 pounds out of 719. Give ourselves a little extra room. Packs, let's get 3 packs. Let's see, let's get Julie, let's get Mark and Rick. Why not? There they are. That looks cool. Hey, Alpha, no worries, man. We'll catch you on the next one, brother. Thank you for being here as always, either way, and for giving us a part of your time, brother. Have a good day at work. Truck and Dad, if memory serves, it's been a minute. Main difference between the 414 and the 421 was the engines. 421 had gear reduction instead of the direct connection, I believe. I think you're right. And also, there was a power plant change between the 414 and the 421. 414s, I believe, were notorious for manifold cracks if you applied the power too quickly. I could be wrong. Maybe it was in the 421, and I can't remember what power plants these are. But yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about that, and it's quite interesting, man. So that's why when I fly this thing, I try to be cautious with my power adjustments. I don't remember if Flysimware actually models that into the sim or not. Okay, I think we're good with our payload. Let's go ahead and pull up our checklists. So you do have kind of a interactive checklist here. You have your pre-flight checks. We just went through that. Let me go ahead and cut the music now that we are getting ready to do the serious part. I'm gonna make sure my throttles, make sure everything is set. There we go. Yep, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring those up anyways to max RPM. So before starting, engines, cabin door, and seal checked. Yeah, Julie back there. She's responsible for it. I'm going to blame her if anything goes wrong. Control logs have been stowed. Yep, we don't see them anymore. Seatbelts, shoulder harnesses, secured fuel selectors, main tanks. Let's go. So right, right. Left, left. Landing gear position down. Yep, it's in the down position, I hope to God. Okay, throttles, props, mixture set. So we're going to keep throttles idle. Prop levers, max RPM. And let's go ahead and bring full rich and engine 1. Let's verify all circuit breakers are in. They are modeled, I believe, on the Flysimware. Yep. Everything is pushed in. Let's go to the co-pilot side. Good. Okay. Circuit breakers look good. Clock flight time is 0. I mean, I don't have the clock right now. It is powered off, so that's fine. Battery switch can come to on. So let's go find the battery switch, and it's right here. Guard it. Let's check our battery voltage. Look at that. So showing about 25 volts. That looks good. Cool, cool. Let's get our beacon light on. No, we don't have beacon light, do we? Just the anti-collision, which is just strobe lights. Oh, my buddy Luis texted me saying looking good. What up, Bobby? Luis, thanks for tuning in, bro. I'm about to make a fool of myself here, bro. We're flying a classic. If you're not familiar with what we're watching, right here, Bobby, this is known as like the hot rods of the 1970s and 80s from Cessna. So we're about to take her up for a spin. All right, battery switch is good. Gear precision light should be showing 3 green. Yep. Fuel totalizer set. Here she is. I think it's not going to be displaying anything right now. Verify. Nope. I should have added gallons. Whoops. Okay, we're going to ignore that. We're showing, yeah, about 390 pounds, 380 pounds per side. Parking brake is set. There it is. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to starting engine checklist. Prop area is clear. Magnetos will come on. Engine to start. All right, so let's see if I remember how to do this. I want to open up the window so you guys can hear it. Sounds pretty badass. All right, first of all, let's open those cowl flaps. Fuel selectors are set. Let's go ahead and get... Let's get mags on. Why not? Let's get that auxiliary pump to low. Let me just verify that real quick. Yeah, it doesn't say really much anything there, so... Alright, we're just going to send it. We're going to prime the left engine. Let's crack open that throttle a little bit. There we go. Mixture's full rich. Prop RPM. Oh, no, no. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And let's go ahead and start it. I got to get ready over here. Good, number 1. Let's bring it back. Let's get that left alternator. Sounds so damn good, man. Yeah, trucking, Dad. I heard horror stories about both, especially low-time pilots pulling too much power at altitude and cracking cylinders. Yep, that's pretty much what I've heard. Prime OG, I'll be joining in a minute for protection. Aye, sir. I'll be ready. Okay, so we've got a good left engine start. Let's check that left alternator. Yep, showing a little bit positive amps. Let's go ahead and repeat the process for the right engine. Mixture full rich. We're going to open up that throttle. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Cool. Right alternator's on. Let's get that auxiliary fuel pump off for now. Let's get nav light and taxi light on. Let's cycle flaps. And let's get avionics on. Hey, D3642, welcome back. All right, so let's call clearance here. I need to lower the audio a little bit there. Let's see what ATIS is like here at Birmingham. What is that? 119.4.
ND090
there we go.
At 11 gusting 1A. Visibility 10. Broken at 25,000. Temperature 21, 2.5. Altimeter 3033. Density altitude 1100 feet. Advise on initial contact you have information uniform.
3033.
Birmingham Shuttlesworth International Airport, information uniform. 1553 Zulu. Arriving and departing runways 6, 1A. Wind 090 at 11 gusting 1A. Visibility 10. Broken at 25,000.
Alright.
Temperature 21, 2.5. Altimeter 3033.
Alright, I'm good with that.
Density altitude 1100 feet.
Clearance 125675. There goes Southwest. 125675. Let's give them a call, see if they recognize me. Birmingham clearance. This is Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie with the weather requesting IFR Charleston. Gonna leave the mixture.
Stand by.
Hey, D3642. Yeah, I think Captain Flacco and I are planning our dual stream tonight.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, cleared to Charleston. Radar vectors Cheha. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 19010 minutes after departure. Departure on 123.8 squawk 4443. Expect runway 6.
All right, clear to Charleston. That was radar's vector to Cheha. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 19010 minutes after departure. Departure 123.8 squawk 4443. Expecting runway 6 for 427 Romeo Charlie. 4443. I think that's what I said.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, read back correct.
Okay, I like that. That's good. Okay, so we're expecting runway 6. Let's go to procedure. We're not really using a sit. This should be a no-sit departure. Birmingham 8, no. Doesn't even give me the ability to get a runway. KCHS. Runway 6, and then our route was Cheha and then Thresher, or whatever the hell that is. Cheha. Add a waypoint from there direct to THR. I said DHR. All right, that's good. Let's go to menu. Looks like we're cruising at 19,000. That's optimistic. And then for Charleston, we're expecting runway 33 for now. Oh, that's a lot of VOR approaches. You know what? I'm going to piss myself off because I have to make up for yesterday's terrible approach. Now, this is all depending on whether or not ATC actually clears me to do the VOR approach, but I need to make up for yesterday's terrible approach into St. Petersburg. All right, we've got our flight plan set, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and call ground. Let them know we're ready to boogie here. 1217. That's easy. All right. Before I do that, let me look at the chat real quick. Primo G. Hell yeah. Get in here, man. Trucking Dad saying, what y'all playing with tonight, or is that classified? No, man, I genuinely have no idea. Captain Flacco and I, we rarely, if ever, actually pre-plan our live stream. We just kind of make it happen and hope for the best at that point. So nothing crazy, nothing too serious per se. Come on, open up my damn windows. All right, brother. D3642, man, get some good night, and we'll see you later tonight, brother. Thank you for being here. Come on. There we go. It's probably hot as hell in here. Let's get our AC on. Annunciators test. Parking brakes off. Let's get on the power. Oh, there goes my wing. The scenery looks a little weird, by the way. If you notice, the ground textures are kind of like super bright, and I don't know, something looks weird. Maybe it's me. Nice little ramp side parking there. Not bad. What is this, Atlantic? Ah. All right, so we're going to come here at Atlantic. We're going to make a right. We're going to hold short until we can contact ground. I think runway 6 is right here, actually. Yeah. So you know what? Before we call them, I'm going to do my run-up. Probably a good idea. It's such a short taxi. Before taxi, okay, avionics on and set, brakes check, flight instruments check, throttle 1700 RPM. We're going to look for the left and right flow lights to be off. Alternators, vacuum, magnetos, props, all that check, throttles to 1000. It's going to be half-assed, by the way, check. So here we go. Let's go mixture full ridge. Let's find 1700. Okay, see our suction gauge looking good. Yep, about 5.5 inches of mercury. That looks good. EGT is still a little cold. Cylinder head temperature is coming up. They're in the green. Oil temperature, oil pressure on the left looks good. Same on the right. I am happy with that. Again, I'm supposed to do mag checks here. I forget it. These mags are weird. They're different. I forget if I have to turn one off. Yeah, I forget how to do this, so I'm not going to mess with it. We're going to say we've got a good airplane. All right, throttles back to 1000 RPM. All right, that's good. Let's go to before takeoff. Fuel quantity check, fuel selectors, main tanks look good. Emergency cross feet shut off check open. It is pushed down. Cowl flaps open. They are these two handles that I pushed in. If they are pulled out, they are closed. Trim tab takeoff set. See it right here, your elevator trim. Make sure it's in that tail region. Wing flaps are up. Sync face off. Flight instruments and avionics set. Lights as required. All cabin doors, windows closed. Pressurization set. Oh, there goes UPS. Yeah, let's go ahead and set this now. We're gonna go on up to 19,000. I'll monitor that as we climb. Annunciator panel clear. We can test it. Just the AC. Let's check our outer, middle, inner markers. Looks good. Okay, auxiliary fuel pumps will go to high. Flight controls check. Luis! Bro, get it, bro. Flight simulator, this is the life, bro. I'm telling you. It just gets expensive, bro. So if once you get in, you're gonna have to tell your wife why you keep spending money on stuff so you can fly fake airplanes with your friends or co-workers. So me and Luis are co-workers, man, and he's watching me right now from home. He's gonna give me hell when I see him this weekend. Ice protection as required, not needed. Seat belt secure. Landing lights check. Yeah, let's get them on. Why not? And power set for takeoff. Check fuel flow and totalizer. Okay. Takeoff engines instruments check. Air minimum control speed check. All right. Let's close her up. Birmingham ground, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie at Atlantic requesting taxi for departure.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, runway 6 taxi via hotel.
Hotel runway 6 for 427 Romeo Charlie. And just like that, boys and girls, we're going to be right up on runway 6 here.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact tower on 119.9er.
119.9er for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Bye-bye. See, that was quick. I wish every taxi was this quick, man.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Birmingham Tower. Say again.
I didn't say anything, bro. What are you talking about? Birmingham Tower, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie holding short of runway 6 at hotel. Ready to go, baby.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, runway 6, wind 090 at 11, gusting 18. Fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Fly runway heading cleared for takeoff. Runway 6, Chancellor 27 and Romeo Charlie. All right, here we go.
Runway 6.
Yeah, 5090 costed me a whole kidney, Prime OG says. Prime OG, I know the feeling, bro. Yeah, 5090s are pricey, but once you have it, you kind of have a precious metal for the rest of your life, man. So that's the way I see it. That's what I told my wife. She hasn't caught up yet to the reality of it, but hey, I'm lucky so far. All right, clear on the right, clear on the left. Runway is clear. I don't know what the hell we're about to do here. Been a while since I've flown this thing, so I'm nervous. All right, winds are coming out of the east. They're at 11 knots, gusting 18. So I'm gonna introduce power here, get the aileron into the wind, let the power build up.
6 remaining. 10,600 feet.
Okay, that looks good. Brakes off. I'm gonna go max power here. Nice and easy. Relieving pressure. Airspeed's alive. Knots. We're going to slowly rotate the nose. There we go. Gear up. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go on the GFC 600 here. Flight director, yacht amper, heading. Let's go. Indicated airspeed. Autopilot. Still climbing. After takeoff checklist, gear and flaps. Switching to departure for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Bye-bye. Birmingham departure, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie at 2,100, climbing 4,000, runway heading.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Birmingham departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000, turn right heading 115, vectors to Chiha, then on course.
13,000, right turn heading 115, vectors to Chiha, then on course for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. 115. I think that's what he said. Kind of loud in here, by the way. Let me lower that audio a little bit. There we go. Taxi light can come off. Landing lights off. Reduce that drag. And now we're on indicated airspeed mode. So this is like a flight level change. What the GFC 600 is looking for is 116 knots. That's where I engaged that mode. And you can see we're above that blue line there. I think that's the VMC minimum control speed there. I like it. I do want to lower that nose a little bit though. Let's see how I can do this.
7 Romeo Charlie, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Climb and maintain flight level 190 for Chancellor 27 Romeo Charlie. 19,000 set. All right, so gear and flaps are up. Yacht amper check. It is illuminated. Auxiliary fuel pumps to low. Ice protection as required. Landing and taxi light retracted and off. Prop sync is off. It is off right here. We're still climbing very, very nice. I mean, we've got an aggressive climb here. Let's go to vertical speed. Let's reduce that climb rate. Let the airspeed build up. I'm going to reduce power and RPM a little bit there. There we go, trucking that. Thank you for that clarification. Blue line is SE VMC, or VMC SE, I guess. And then red line is VMC, just FYI. Thank you, sir. Man, I love having you on board, man. I feel like you're an instructor. Hey, you don't even know it, man. You've been instructing me this whole time, teaching me little things just like that, man. That's why I love having people like yourself. Thank you for being there, man.
Charlie, direct Chiha, then is filed, please.
Direct Chiha. Then it's filed for 7 Romeo Charlie. All right, airspeed's looking good. Let's go. Indicated airspeed 133, much better. Let's go direct, flight plan, Chiha, activate. And let's go nav. GPS enabled. I'm gonna bring back manifold pressure. We're already through 6,000 feet. 35 inches of mercury. RPMs are good. Lean the mixture just a bit. Mr. Anderson, yes, this is the 2020 version or 2024 version. Although remember that Flysimware has not officially released the 414 for 2024, as far as I remember, like they did with the Learjet 35. So this is just a ported version from 2020. Grabbed it from my community folder, dropped it into my 2024 community folder, and it works. So I'm happy with it, man. Again, during the pre-flight inspection, we noticed the textures. The modeling is a little bit outdated. You can see some rough, like almost 2D textures that were just copy and pasted. Not the greatest, right? Not up to the standards of SimWorks Studios or even Blacksware, but the aircraft flies and functions very, very good, right? And I love it. That's why I'm choosing to fly it today. Okay, I'm gonna set my pressurization up to 19,000. So there's a climb rate. And that should give us a cabin altitude of about 5,500 feet. Looking at our differential pressure, about 5 PSI. That's good, healthy. Suction's in the green, oxygen is full. Yeah, truck and dad. I've heard that so many times before from multi-engine people that are going through the training and people who fly like these airplanes. They fly the Navajo. I know the Navajo, it's a badass plane, right? It's got such an amazing utility. Wait, altitude reporting. Sorry, I forgot to go altitude reporting on my transponder. The Navajo has got such a reputation for having a useful load that is very good, right? I mean, it's a minivan. It's a minivan with twin engines. However, people have been killed on the Navajo, again, for not respecting that blue line, that VMC, and going into that, pretty much, what is it, the rollover, right? Because the critical engine fails, then you're in a world of trouble. And yeah, I'm not multi-engine rated, so I think before I get to that point in real life, I really want to master single engine flying. And then if I get the money and the time one day, I would love to, but I have a lot of respect for multi-engine, man. Are you serious, Prime OG? Dude, that's so weird, man. You literally following me for the past couple of weeks, and now I wonder if the servers are acting up. There's got to be something happening, because I don't ever touch my multiplayer settings, like, ever. What's my cabin temperature? Let's see. Oh, it's cold in here. We gotta get some heat. I'm gonna get a little heat circulating, because you can see the cabin climate is slowly climbing. Ambient temperature -2 degrees or 28 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a relative wind, so definitely some headwinds on the way over to Charleston. Temperature's getting better now. That's good. We're through 11,000 feet. Yeah, that is really weird. So you do have it. And yeah, Prime OG wasn't able to see me last week on the Citation 10. When I was departing Vegas, so that was quite odd, man. I gotta look into it. Maybe something on my end. My bad, dude. I know you're trying to give me some escorts. You are always on the ball there, giving me escorts wherever I need to fly. Let me see what else I gotta check here. There we go. EGT's happy. I think we look for minimum of 1350. We're about, what, 1450 right now. Pressure is good on the oil. Oil temperature is good. Cylinder head temperature is looking good. Fuel still good. Yep. Hobbs is running, I think. Oh, and check this out. If you didn't know this, there's your manual, but it doesn't actually come out. Oh, drink holder. Hell yeah. All right. I know one cool thing is if you want to hide the controls, you click here, and that way you can adjust your interior lighting if you needed to, but I like to have the controls showing. Let's clean that mixture some more. That's where you gotta be a little tricky here with multi-engine leaning and adjusting your power. There you go, Prime OG. Yeah, make sure you're squared away so when you do join us, maybe tonight when Captain Flacco hopefully joins me, you can give us some escorts and we can have some fun. All right, we're through 13,300 feet now, on our way to 19,000, flight level 190. The Chancellor's doing just perfectly fine. Let's go back here. Bro. Ace, Bliss, amazing, trust. Somebody's full of themselves. Yikes. Okay, so we've got Julie back here. I think that's her name. She looks like she's high as hell. She's super chill though. And then Bob over here. Bob, he's had better days. I think he's on his way to finish his divorce paperwork. I don't know. Yeah, Prime OG. He doesn't look happy, dude. So we got whatever his name is over here. He's like, why the hell did I get into this piece of junk? I don't know. Grassland. What a brand. Here, you want some coffee, dude? I got you. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Oh, I thought it was modeled. All good, homie. Oh, we got a stereo system. Look at that. I forgot about this. Damn, man. I wish I could play some music. Can you imagine how cool that would be? If I could just blast some tunes here. Thank you for not smoking. Sure. I bet in the 70s and 80s people were lighting up cigars, Marlboro Reds, as they cruised along in this bad boy. Cabin climate's still hot or cold. Let's get some, there you go. Get the heat exchange working. Come on.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Atlanta Center on 128.725.
128.725 for Romeo, or 27 Romeo Charlie. November, bye. November, by the way, that's very Puerto Rican. That's just saying see you later, folks. Very, very slang, you know, for my native Spanish speakers out there. Atlanta Center, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie at flight level 163, climbing 190, direct Chiha. I didn't hear that. Okay, they said good afternoon. Sure. Trucking Dad, you are 100% correct. The props are the music. Yeah. These are turbocharged, by the way. It's badass engines, man. I forget what they are. I want to say they're TIO 540s. I could be wrong, man. Or TSIO 540s. I can't remember. But yeah, they're badass power plants. I mean, look at this. We're already approaching or cruising altitude. We've been doing 130 knots indicated practically, according to the GFC 600 there. So not a bad performance for this type of aircraft. I don't expect any weather. Let's pull up our terrain. Beautiful day out here, man. There you go. Prime OG said no working coffee machine, we write, and no music. Yeah, man. That's what Truck and Dad said, though. That's what we got. Those motors, man. Those props making all the noise. There we go. 1,000 feet to go. That's the altitude alert. And you guys have probably heard me say it before, right? I trained in real world to fly and learn how to fly on 6-pack, right? So when I see analog steam gauges, analog or steam gauges, I'm a sucker for these type of planes, man. But I love these hybrid cockpits, right? You've got all your analog gauges, but then you've got the powerful GTN 750s here. We got dual GTN 750s. We've got the GFC 600 digital autopilot. I argue that's all you need, man. As a GA pilot, this is a phenomenal setup here. And check it out. We've cruised or set our cruise altitude now, 19,000 feet. Let's see what our cabin altitude's looking like. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm just a little bit more than 5,000 feet in cabin altitude. Very comfortable, very nice. There's that left turn. Let's close the cow flaps now that we're cruising. Reduce that drag. Look at that airspeed building up, by the way. And we're still kind of fighting a headwind there. No longer now. All right, so we're gonna reduce power here now that we're cruising. Whoa. Yeah, it gets a little tricky here. Let me see how tricky it is with these multi-engine airplanes. Look at that. She's not happy. You gotta be nice and easy. It's like it's choking the engine out, man. Gramps, what's up, brother? Welcome back. Yeah, the 414 is great. All right, Trucking Dad, Gramps, I need your input here. I need you to run me through adjusting power and leaning on a multi-engine, because I noticed this on the Black Square Baron as well, right? I'm trying to make adjustments here to my power on my throttle, and you can see that fluctuation happening. What's going on here? What am I doing wrong? How can I mitigate that? What is the proper procedure? This is where I need your input ASAP. I'm trying to cruise. Look at that. I'm adjusting my RPM, and look what's happening. Am I choking? Have I not leaned enough? Is that the problem? Look at this. This is crazy. This is terrifying, man. I haven't flown this thing in forever, so. Come on, Trucking Dad, Gramps. This is where you guys have to shine. Give me some pointers there. Okay, so, okay, I see now. So, Gramps is coming in saying easy, 2,400 on the prop, 2,400 on the manifold pressure, and then you lean. And then Trucking Dad saying, sounds like RPM not matched. Okay, I'm tracking. So, let's go ahead and keep reducing here. Copy that, Gramps. See right there, it's a little tricky though. See that? No, I'm leaning the mixture. Should I go full rich and then start adjusting my manifold pressure? This is crazy, man. Oh, okay, I could be over lean. Copy that. Okay, we're kind of stable there. Let me get my prop sync on. Copy that, Trucking Dad. I'm going to give it a little bit more on the mixture. Full rich. You guys are the masters, you see? Copy that, Gramps. All right, let's adjust our manifold pressure then. All right, Trucking Dad, so you're saying 30 on the manifold pressure, 2,400 RPM. Let's try that. Slowly increase, nice and easy, just like we talked about. Don't want to crack those cylinder heads. There we go. 30 inches of mercury. Let's bring back the RPMs. Copy that. Damn, man, you guys are amazing, man. This is why I love doing these live streams, and I like to keep myself honest, right? Because look at this. You guys just helped me understand this a little bit better. See, I wasn't even thinking about the pressurization with respects to my manifold pressure or vice versa. That is such a clutch piece of information. Mr. Anderson is saying, try one engine at a time. If I remember correctly, the handles do not line up evenly when adjusting. That is true. There's always a little bit of an offset, and you can actually see it right here. Look at my number 1 and number 2 throttle. You can see that slight asymmetry there, which is fine, right? Because even on my honeycomb, I'm looking at them right now, and you can see that asymmetry, which I do love, right? And the handles are a little bit different, right, for each handle there. So I do love that. And again, thank you guys for walking me through that. So let's see now. No, I don't want that. There we go. So we're showing our fuel flow right now. 23 gallons per side. I think that's pretty good. Let's see what happens if I start leaning that mixture a bit. Nope, doesn't like it. I'm gonna keep her there. 23.4 gallons an hour. I think I can live with that. Mr. Anderson, copy that, sir. Truck and Dad, your RPMs were high. Set them at 23 or 24, then move one handle at a time until the props are synced, then turn on prompt sync for best match. Copy. So it looks like we're stable now. 30 inches of mercury on the manifold, just about 2,400 RPM. I don't have the spin wheel there showing me that one is spinning faster. What do you guys think? Am I good here? Think that's an acceptable fuel flow? I can always pull up the checklist. I think not the checklist, but the manual does have charts. Let's see. Let's pull that up. Truck and Dad, does that have an EGT gauge? Indeed it does, sir. Let's show you right here. You can see EGT, we're about, what, 1450 on each side. I think the manual calls for a minimum of 1350 once we've leaned. So I'm reading the manual right now. Here we go. We're at flight level 190. I'm looking at 20,000 feet chart here. RPM set to 2,400. Manifold pressure about 30. Okay. Graham saying, I was flying the other day and leaned was about 17 gallons per hour per side at low altitude. I was going to say go 50 ridge of peak. All right. I'm reading through the chart here, by the way. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the sync phase here for a second, the prop sync. Well, let's try it one at a time here. It's interesting though, because the manual doesn't show me, it only shows me a total pounds per hour fuel flow, so I would have to do some math there. I know the CFS 2000 does have a feature to show you your overall fuel flow. There we go, pounds per hour, there we go. So yeah, 139. And here, according to the manual, at a pressure altitude of 20,000, by the way, I forgot to go back to standard 29902, that's my fault. Let's do that before I forget. So yeah, show me a total of 242 should be my target fuel burn right now. That is, what's my temperature outside right now? Okay, so showing ambient temperature minus 20 degrees Celsius. I'm trying to do some calculations here. Yeah, something's a little off here. But you know what? She's cruising just fine here. I gave myself some more gas. Still showing about 23 gallons an hour. Yeah, you guys are right. It might be something I'm just completely butchering here. I mean, I know my checklist had me set my auxiliary fuel pumps to low. No factor there. We're still on the main tanks. Cowling flaps are pulled and they're closed. Again, that has nothing to do with the fuel flow per se. That's just more for less drag on the airframe and greater speed. Showing about, what, 160 knots indicated right now. We're showing 221 on the ground. Okay, truck and dead saying, according to what I just looked up, you should be looking at 30 inches of mercury on the manifold pressure and 2,300 RPM running 20 gallons per side. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've got our manifold pressure pretty much shy there of 30 inches of mercury. RPM's 2,300. We're a little bit over 24. Let's do one engine at a time, just like you guys have suggested. Yeah, I don't get this. I need to do some more practice and research because I am way out of my league here. I'm trying to think. What am I doing? What am I missing here? Yeah, I agree, Gramps. This is not normal. It is stabilizing there. Again, we're aiming for that 2,300 RPM. Notice how it's the left engine, too. Okay, truck and that, don't move RPM one at a time if changing, okay? There we go. We're kind of stabilizing at 2,300. Oh, okay. Only move one at a time when sinking props. Copy that. Yeah, look at that. Just by leaning that mixture a little bit, and look how crazy it goes. Yeah, that's a little odd. That is really odd. I wonder what I'm doing wrong here. Trying to get my smooth brain here to come up with any explanation. Yeah, you're right, truck and dead. That is a good point. I've noticed that on the Baron and the Duke here, practically sounds like they're in sync already, even though I don't have my prop sync. So let's go ahead and turn that sync face on. Gramps, let's take a look. When I lean mine, you move the lever a bit, and you can go and get like halfway back at it at this altitude, I bet. And the EFB, there's really nothing per se. It's just showing me my current fuel percentage of what I said earlier, showing me my live fuel. On the checklist for the cruise, it just says power set, mixtures lean, prop sync on, pressurization set, so it doesn't really break it down too crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Look at that, we're just shy of that FCG limit too. Should have loaded my packs a little different. Oh, Mr. Anderson, that's a good point. Truck and Dad, your pump's still on? Yes, according to the checklist, it wanted me to have my auxiliary pumps too low. You think that's a contributing factor there? Gramps, you're good, brother. Do your thing, man. He said he's in the middle of changing a hot water heater. Yeah, I wonder, should I try that, turning off those auxiliary fuel pumps? Let's see. No, I still get the same issue. Thank God I've got this altitude and airspeed. Let's see what happens. I'm just messing with it at this point, guys. I'm trying to troubleshoot this. My money is on what Mr. Anderson said, though. There could be some type of auto mixture setting that I have not noticed because I haven't flown the aircraft in a long time, but I had all my default sim settings to not have any assists like that enabled. Copy that, truck and that. So he's saying, I'm not sure of the model, but we always turn them off on the climb out. Okay, good to know. So I will definitely ignore that on the checklist. And again, let me just check it out so I'm not crazy. No, doesn't mention anything here about the fuel pumps for the climb. After takeoff, it just says auxiliary fuel pumps to low. So that's about all it talks about there. All right, Gramps, let's try it. There we go. We're doing better now. 22 gallons an hour. Let's see what happens here. See if she likes it. Okay. 21 gallons almost. You know what? I think I'll take it. Martin 7759, hello there. I guess you have to check your bindings because this is not normal. I agree. I want to say is maybe that auto lean or auto mixture setting, which I do know Flysimware does mention that on the manual, but it's specifically targeted towards Xbox players because I guess on the Xbox side, you really can't adjust your mixture, I believe, if that's correct, at least on this aircraft. So they do provide that warning. That is a good point. Second. So hold on, let me go in order here. So truck and dad, well, usually the aux pumps are used for transfers and starts, not typically left on, but again, I don't know this model well. Gramps Aviation, there is something weird model, but looks more lean now. I agree. We're cruising at about 21 gallons an hour. I think that's better. We're doing a little bit better. EGT's looking still good, a little bit hotter. We're about 1500 degrees there, right? So that's fine. Wisbowski, I agree. Bound to condition, not mixture. That could be something that's happening. But I do have, for the twin engine props, I always use a twin engine prop set to mixture, not condition lever. Something I'll have to double check though next time I try to fire this bad boy up and see if that's what's causing this weird behavior. But just talking to you guys again, that's why I'm glad Truck and Dad, Gramps Aviation, Mr. Anderson, and Wisbowski, I appreciate you guys giving me the input. The more I learn with people that have maybe flown this airplane or something similar in real world, the more I understand the aircraft, right? Because this whole time I've been flying it for years. I haven't done it now for probably close to a year. I want to say the last time I flew the Chancellor. So I really enjoy interacting with you guys on the chat so you guys can correct me or give me pointers. I think the fact that the aircraft does have that modeling of adjusting and leaning your mixture and your engine parameters during cruise, I think it's an awesome feature, right? So the more I learn from you guys, the better I feel about it. Gramps, hell yeah, man. Let me know if you do get online, man. I'll try to stream or get online and check you out, man. That'll be awesome. All right, let me adjust my CDI here before somebody starts yelling at me. There we go. Just for good SA, situational awareness. Let's see where we're at. there's Atlanta. We're going to be crossing right over Atlanta at flight level 190. Should be able to see or at least pick up a lot of traffic down there. And actually, there's ATL, Atlanta International, busiest airport in the world, I believe. You know what? I'm not worried about terrain over here. Let's bring up our TCAS traffic. There we go. Truck and Dad coming in saying, so basically most twins set manifold pressure, then set RPM, lean to 50 reach of peak for power, or 50 lean of peak for long range cruise. There is a debate there. Yeah, I was reading into that more with the Black Square products. They really break it down in layman's terms and explain how to use that, what is it, the EDM, right? Is it the EDM? And you can actually monitor the live, and you can ask it to either look for your reach of peak or your lean of peak, and it'll show you one of those cylinder head temperatures peaks, giving you the suggested setting on your mixture. So very good information to have, and again, I appreciate the input, brother. Let's go outside. Something about these older airframes, they just look so good, man. I love it. See what kind of cameras we get. Truck and Dad saying those engine monitors are awesome. We used to use EGT and then mark one eyeball. Yeah. Yeah, those things are awesome, man. They're so intuitive, so easy to understand, and it really helps you dial in your engine parameters for stable cruise performance. All right, so here's what's going to happen after we cross over Atlanta and make that right turn to the east southeast there. I might speed up the sim rate just to get us closer toward top of descent, and then that way we can get into the more fun portions of the flight. Grams Aviation, Yacht Emperor, yes sir, I do have it enabled. As you can see here on the GFC 600 autopilot, Yacht Emperor is enabled. Good question. Truck and Dad, just a heads up, running lean of peak will make your temps hotter, so that's where the debate comes in for engine life. That's a good point. And for those of you watching and you don't understand, right, when you're leaning your mixture, think about your cars, right? If you've ever driven anything performance rides, right, you have those air-fuel ratio, right? Air-to-fuel ratio. The leaner you run, the less fuel you're introducing to the mixture, but inherently the fuel also provides cooling for the engine, right? So you don't want to flood it too much with too much fuel, because then you're going to be hindering your performance, especially up at altitude. You want to lean it a little bit to compensate for that lack of air molecules, keep the engines operating a little bit warmer. But to Truck and Dad's point, again, the leaner you go, the hotter the engines will run. So that's a good point. Yeah, I think the winds are a little bit funky up here. We can actually see them real time here on the EFB. So look at that. Winds are switching, gusting a little bit from 9 knots, 15 knots, right to left. Still got a slight tailwind component. But there's a relative wind from the southeast. Cabin temperature's still cold, man. And we do have our cabin heat on. There you go. You can see that cabin temperature climbing a little bit. Passengers are not happy. Let's see Atlanta. There she is. I wonder how bad the autopilot's going to be fighting me if I increase the sim rate. Let's look at where our top of descent is. Let me make sure I've got VNAV enabled. Let's go flight plan, VNAV. Yep, VNAV is enabled. So time to top of descent, 31 minutes. Looks like it's showing, negative 1.5.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Atlanta Center on 119.375.
119.375 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Bye-bye. Atlanta Center, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, flight level 190.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Atlanta Center, good afternoon.
Hey, Marty Shog saying howdy. Is that a Duke I spy with my eye? No, sir. This is the Flysimware Cessna 414 Chancellor. It is slightly bigger than a Duke. And I want to say they're about the same age. I don't remember when the Duke came about. But to me, from when I used to work the ramp, the Duke nowadays, it's a unicorn. If you see a Duke, you are lucky. I got to see one in 8 years of working as a line service technician for Signature in Kissimmee and Orlando International. Arguably two airports that see a lot of GA traffic, believe it or not, especially here in Central Florida. So the Dukes are not as prominent and not as common to see as the 414 family. You also have the 421, which is a similar to the 414. I think it's just different power plants. Think greater maximum takeoff weight or gross weight. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. So this airplane more common to this day in 2026, but the Dukes, absolute unicorns. If you ever seen one or see one, take a photo, because I guarantee you it'll be quite a while before you see another one, unless they're a local tenant. Grab saying firing up the sim while the water heater drains. Chase plane works in Cinema Update 5 now. Oh, really? Nice, man. Truck and Dad, I feel bad we didn't give you better explanation, but I think it is a binding issue, but it's hard to explain so in a short live response. Yeah, man, I get it, man. You guys gave me plenty of input, plenty of information there, enough for me to understand at least, all right? So I appreciate your input as always. Yeah, Truck and Dad, you guys, if you guys are into aviation and you're like me, you guys are fanatics, I look at controller.com and Hangar 67 every, like maybe once or twice a month just to see what's out there in the market for sale. And I happened to come across a 1978 Duke turbine converted, beautiful interior remodel. I think they wanted like $350,000 to $400,000 for it. And I almost called my wife and told her that we were going to sell the house to get a turbine Duke, but that would not go well, of course. We can't really live in a plane. Well, you might, but yeah. Yeah, Trucking That, I copy that. SOP, standard operating procedures. But again, brother, you explained plenty, man. Between you and Gramps, once I saw you guys were on the chat, I'm like, yes, I've got live mentors right here that have done this at a professional level and can walk me through this. So I appreciate the help, man. By the way, I still haven't told my instructor that I do this on YouTube and that I have a YouTube channel and I do flying. I'm sure if he sees this, he'll be laughing his ass off. Because I'm over here flying everything but the aircraft that I should be practicing on, which is the Cessnas, the 172. I did my flight review Monday. Excellent, beautiful day for flying. He was happy, I was happy. A lot of traffic around the Orlando Executive Airspace, so it was fun. But yeah, when you guys don't see me live or recording videos, I'm usually practicing stuff on offline, right? When I'm just by myself, I am practicing on the Cessna just to keep myself up to speed. Copy that, trucking that. I'll keep it a secret. Maybe once I'm doing my instrument rating, and if I go through my commercial later on, maybe I'll let them know, like, hey, by the way, I actually do this for a living, just in a fake way, and I fly everything but what I should be flying. Gramps, the Black Square Duke is pretty nice if you don't have it. Yeah, it is awesome, man. Martin Shock saying those turbines are expensive if they break down even to service. Gramps, yeah, that checks out, man. 24 inches of mercury, 2400 RPM, and it usually works. Yeah, I agree. I think I've used something similar on the Duke, the turbine, not the turbine Duke, but the just a piston Duke, and I think that's usually the parameters I go for as well. Okay, what do I need to do? I know we're expecting. We filed. We don't know what approach we're going to get into Charleston. Let's go to procedure. No, hold up. Let me make sure I've got FAA, not LIDO. There we go. So we said we wanted to do the VOR, right? What runway? 33. And the reason I'm selecting VOR, guys, is because I was mad at myself yesterday. I flew to Piaggio, came into St. Petersburg, and completely butchered a VOR approach when I should have known better. There we go, VOR attack and approach. Let's go full screen. Okay, so we got a nice little DME arc. Hell yeah, I love those. So there's the initial approach fix, the Charleston Vortac. But we can also get Vector 2, looks like Kulop or Carno as our initial approach fixes, at which point then we will make those DME marks or arcs. 10 DME from Charleston, 2100 and no procedure turn. So if I am reading that correctly, that will mean I just follow the arc and then set myself up on that final approach course of 320 degrees. However, if they give us the initial approach fix to direct to Charleston, then we will go ahead and proceed outbound on the radio 140, make that turn to the south, heading 185, turn around 005, intercept, final approach course 320, and then we got to look at our minimum. So is that 500? Okay. No circling approach. I doubt SayIntentions will even tell me that. Looks like obstacle. We got something there at 1049. 334, 330 on the final approach course. Should be okay. And touchdown zone elevation, 45 feet. Cool. All right. But I don't know. I don't know if ATC is going to give me the VOR. I doubt it. Yeah, Gramps, I'm the same way. I like to learn planes by just getting in the SAM and just trying it out on whatever little or basic knowledge I do have. And then once I feel like I'm stumped and I really need to find answers, then I'll go dig the manual. Some developers do, like, they don't really give you a full manual. They just give you abbreviated checklists, and they don't really dive in too deep. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit lazy. Truck and Dad on the Baron, climb out 36 inches of mercury, 2500 RPM. I believe cruise is 32 and 2300. On the turbo set, climb power 1000 AGL seems to work for a lot of twins for quick and dirty settings. Good to know. Let's make sure ATC hasn't said anything. Nope. 1, 2, 3. I'm speeding up the sim now. Let's see if ATC instructs me to descend here in a little bit. Slight crosswind and tailwind components there. I'll take it. Truck and Dad, let me bring back that sim rate. 1, 2, 3. You can see the TOD there. Let's go back to flight plan, menu, VNAV. Just under 13 minutes now. Toward top of descent. There it is. That's what Augusta, KAGS. So yeah, top of descent will be somewhat a beam or southwest of Augusta. And then we'll proceed inbound to Charleston to see what kind of approach they want us to shoot. 1, 2, 3, speeding it up yet again. Try to pick up ATIS here momentarily as well as we begin this descent. Let me read that message from Truck and Dad. Okay, so a few miles away, reduce 2 inches for 2 minutes, then rinse and repeat, heading down until manifold pressure is in the low 20s. If you were stage cooling like real, copy. Keeps power back, temps in the profile, and speed stable. Good to know. And again, getting a little twitchy there. Man, that's really going to bother me. Look at that. Barely touching that, the throttle handles there. Actually, let me pull up my descent checklist. So pressurization set, landing field elevation plus 500, fuel selectors, main tanks, mixture set 1350, get minimum on the EGT, altimeter set, avionics load approach, radar altimeter set minimums. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I don't like it, Truck and Dad. It's getting very twitchy, so it's going to be rather interesting. Let me check in with Center and see when they would like us to descend. Atlanta Center, this is Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. We're still at flight level 190, approaching our top at descent. When would you like us to descend?
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, at your discretion, descend and maintain 14,000 feet.
My discretion, descend and maintain 14,000 feet for Chancellor 27 Romeo Charlie. Okay, we're approaching that top of the sun. We're going to arm VNAV. VNAV path is illuminated there. A little bit better now. Look at that, 20.7, 20.6. Good call. Good call, Trucking Dad. I will set that here as we begin this descent. Touchdown zone elevation was like 40 feet, so pretty much sea level. I'm happy with that. But yeah, that would be very uncomfortable.
2925, radar contact.
2 minutes to go. Crack-a-lackin'. Yeah, man. This bird sounds sexy. Love the engine sounds on the Flysimware Chancellor. Mr. Anderson, too bad the engines are being silly. It's really a fantastic aircraft that I quite enjoyed a few hours in FS20. I only wish the winglets were optional. Yeah, that would be cool, man. Pull off 2 inches now, so the next 2 inches as you start down. Okay. Let's try it. Yeah, look at this. Thing is acting a fool. It's at 27 inches of mercury now, so a little bit more. Let's see what happens on the descent. Okay, Gramps saying I'm climbing through 12,000 now. My 414 and leaning as I climb. No twitchiness like yours. Showed something definitely is off. I have my mixture and props not bound to anything, so I can do them by hand. That is a good thing. Bump mixes up a bit. Okay. Yeah, look at that. All right, we are now descending. We're crossing our top of descent. Let's start setting that pressurization down. Pretty much sea level here. Alright, let's see if we can pick up ATIS here. Yeah, Gramps, I think that's my money. That's what it is. So maybe I need a specific profile for the Chancellor to make sure that it's not acting up. Crack-a-lacking, is there a calibration screen? Yeah, I can do it right now through the in-sim bindings and all that, but I don't want to do it just because I'm already towards the end of my flight here, while beginning the last phase. So I just want to make sure that I don't start messing with things last minute. But next time I do, I should go ahead and start checking out my controls and just have a specific profile for the Chancellor. Trucking Dad, yeah, this isn't right. It shouldn't cut out enriching. I agree. And we're descending to 14,000. I got to pick up my ATIS. Probably a good idea now. Let's go here. Let's go charts. Ah, this is on the secondary. 12475. 12475. Spit that up there. Let's go to the audio panel. Enable COM 2.
Gusting 27. Visibility 10. Broken at 25,000. Temperature 19. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3038. Taxiway resurfacing in progress. Expect delays in ground operations. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Hotel. Charleston International Airport. Information hotel.
Hotel.
16562. Arriving and departing runways 315. Wind 060 at 17 gusting 27. Visibility 10. Broken at 25,000. Temperature 19. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3038. Taxiway resurfacing in progress.
Alright, we've got information hotel for Charleston. Still 96 miles away. clouds are broken 2,500. That'll be interesting. Yeah, crack-a-lacking. So actually, once I'm in the lower altitudes and I've got that mixture full rich, it shouldn't be an issue. It's just up here in the cruising altitudes, and I was on the climb. That's where it started really getting twitchy. Once I get everything reconfigured, I should be fine.
7 Romeo Charlie, contact Atlanta Center on 127.905.
127.905 for 427 Romeo Charlie. Bye-bye. Atlanta Center, 427 Romeo Charlie is descending through flight level 170 for 140.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Atlanta Center. Good afternoon, Charleston, altimeter 3038.
3038 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Thank you. In Atlanta, what kind of approach we can expect to Charleston for 427 Romeo Charlie?
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, expect the RNAV runway 3 approach to Charleston.
We'll expect the RNAV runway 3 approach into Charleston for 427 Romeo Charlie. Thank you. All right, so it looks like it'll be the RNAV approach instead. Got a procedure. Let's pull up the RNAV runway 3. Let's go with the Zulu. See what we're looking at there. Sunzu, bet me. God, my screen keeps flickering and it's throwing me off. Feep it. Okay. We're gonna leave it there. Nope, I didn't like that. I don't want to activate it just yet.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Jacksonville Center on 124.7.
124.7 for 427 Romeo Charlie. Jack Center, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, descending through 15.9 for 14,000.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Jacksonville Center. Good afternoon, Charleston, altimeter 3038.
3038 on the altimeter for 427 Romeo Charlie. Thank you. Copy that, truck and dead. Crack-a-lacking. Oh, you took off from Birmingham. I'm 2 hours from that airport, 20 minutes from Huntsville, if that. Cool. Company I work for actually has a facility out there in Huntsville. I'm out of Merritt Island in the aerospace business, so probably get an idea of who I work for. Yeah, truck and dad. Of course, that only works when ATC cooperates. Yeah, let's see what they throw my way now. So I'm going to continue inbound, and then if we have to, we'll activate the approach once we're getting ready. Crack-a-lackin', if you ever fly into Huntsville normally for anything other than airline traffic, you'd use 18 left or 36 right, but that runway is temporarily closed. Ah! Maybe here when I start doing my longer cross countries, maybe I'll be ballsy enough to make it a long distance way up there. But I mean, Alabama on a Cessna 172 would be a hefty route back into, so that would cost me an arm and a leg. All right, hold on, my screen's going crazy, guys. Hopefully this doesn't crash my sim. Okay, we're back. There we go. Yeah, my screen keeps flickering. I gotta figure out if it's a cable issue or something with my refresh rate. Mental checks here. I've got ADIS information, hotel winds could be rather interesting. Gusting 2.7, I believe I heard on the ATIS, so that'll be fun. We're expecting the RNAV runway 3, so we'll be landing to the northeastish. Yeah, should be pretty straightforward. Let's see if I can get her down safely. All right, let's speed it up a little bit here. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna level off here at 14,000. Hopefully the autopilot does its thing.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Charleston approach on 121.275.
121.275 for 427 Romeo Charlie. So long. Charleston approach. Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, 14,000 with information hotel.
Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, Charleston approach. Good afternoon, Charleston altimeter 3038. Expect the RNAV Zulu runway 3 approach into Charleston.
Altimeter 3038 will expect the RNAV Zulu runway 3 into Charleston for 427 Romeo Charlie. Okay. Let's see how this is looking. We're going to remove that approach. Procedure. Let's go ahead and select the RNAV Zulu, runway 3. And let's go with, what do we select? FEEP it? Yeah, let's load approach. There we go. That's more better. And I said that on purpose, by the way. More better. More better. Let's see, what's, that terrain should be no factor here. 42 feet.
Chancellor 7
Touchdown
Romeo
zone.
Charlie, descend and maintain 9,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 900,000 feet for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Alright, I don't need VNAV anymore, so we're going to go ahead and go into vertical speed. 57 miles out. Let's get a nice gradual descent there, 900 feet a minute. We're going to start enriching that mixture.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Trucking dad, saying you used to do Craig, which is near Jacksonville, right? That's Jack's X, somewhere around there, to Atlanta, then to Alabama, back to Jack's when I was time building a Seminole. That was a long day. Yeah. What was that, like 6-8 hour day? Easy. Crack-a-lacking and Atlas just got stuck in the grass at Birmingham like a week or two ago. I'm not surprised, man. Atlas, I mean, they fly some heavy airplanes, but I've heard horror stories, man. Yeah, in a Seminole, that will take a while. Dothan is far from south of me. I think that's like an hour or two drive from Mobile. Trucking, that's a good point, man. Oh, you should talk to NASA, see if you can get one of those little cups, you know, for to drain the main vein, man. That would suck, man. I would be, I'd be in pain. All right, since we've got the RNAV Zulu loaded up, let's check that chart out. Let's go to chart.
Contact Kansas City Center on 127.7.
RNAV Zulu runway 3 full. Okay.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, descend and maintain 3500 feet. Turn right, heading 120 vectors for the RNAV runway 3 approach. Altimeter 3038.
All right, descend and maintain 3,500. Turn right, heading 120 vector for the RNAV runway 3 approach. Altimeter 3038. for 427 Romeo Charlie. 3500. Let's go ahead and set that heading to 120. We're going to go to heading mode now.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, descend and maintain 3500 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,500 for 427 Romeo Charlie. Okay, final approach course 031 degrees. There's our airport elevation. Touchdown zone 35 feet. There's FEEPIT. That's what we selected as our intermediate fix there. On that course, over to Huddle. Zoom Zoom, our final approach fix. And then runway 3. And then minimums looks like we're asking for 300 on the radar altimeter. Okay. There we go. That is our decision altitude. Best approach procedure, climb to 3,000, direct BAMD and hold. Continue to climb and hold to 3,000. Okay, fair enough. Minimum safe altitude around runway 3, 25 nautical mile circle there, 3,100 feet. Good to know. And then FEEPIT has to be at or above 3,000. So let's see what happens. 3,500 inbound. We should be good. The truck and dad, there may or may not have been Gatorade bottles involved. That's a good point. That's a good trick. Crack-a-lackin', I wish I could get my 727 to work. I own the L1011 for SIVA INS, but that thing kills my frames. I haven't bought the L1011, man. I keep telling myself to get it, and I don't know. I might be shying away from it because I know it's gonna probably take me a little bit to learn it. So might be a little bit of an ego thing here, but I'm also trying to save some money. Again, I've been flying now in real world again, paying an instructor. And so money's starting to funnel out. So I am trying to be a little bit cautious with the way I'm spending money. But I got to get it. I got to get it. I keep telling you guys I'm going to get the L1011 from any built and I don't get it. So I haven't gotten it yet. No, I didn't want to adjust my mixture. Still on a heading of 120, descending to 3,500, 37 miles out. Let's expedite that descent rate a little bit more, 1,200 feet a minute. There we go. Airspeed's looking good. We're still in the green arc. We go into that amber. That's the VNO, right? Maximum structural cruise speed. As long as we're in good, smooth, stable air, we should be good. But I like to shy away from that whenever I can. Let's bring back throttles a bit. There we go. Crack-a-lack, the L1011 is beautiful, great airplane, but it's just rough on the frame rates, especially since I only have 8 gigabytes of VRAM. It's actually pretty easy. Really? Oh. And yeah, trucking that, I want to say any builds that feature or features an automatic flight engineer there to help you out with that FV panel. There's quite a lot of stuff happening in those airplanes, man. It's enriching that mixture a little bit again. Uh-oh, tablet battery life is showing low. Hopefully it doesn't die on me. Isn't there like a charger here or something? No. "31 miles out, guys. We should be landing here soon." And that is awesome. So it actually pulls all your nav info from SimBrief. I like that. I do like that integration. Yeah, Truckin' Dad, I don't know if PMDG is going to bring the DC6, man. I've heard yay, I've heard nay. Hopefully in this year's Flight Sim convention or the Flight Sim Expo, we can ask him. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention, I will be working at the Sun and Fun fly-in next week, Tuesday through Friday. That's 14th of April, what, the 19th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 18th probably. Sorry, I can't do math. But anyways, I'll be there. Come check me out. Myself and Captain Flacco will be working with Desktop Pilot. We're going to be manning their booth and helping them expo their products out there. So if you guys want to come out, hang out, give a chat, talk to me, you guys can meet me in person. If you do plan on attending the Sun and Fun in Lakeland, come find me, guys. I'll be more than happy to interact with you guys in person. You guys can ask me all kinds of things, and we're going to be, again, working for Desktop Pilot and the Flight Sim Tech Center in that portion of the expo. We'll be there for several hours every day, just demoing the products, and then throughout the remainder of the day, we're free to roam about, go enjoy the air show. So once again, guys, Sun and Fun, I'll be there. Captain Flacco will be joining me Thursday and Friday. I'll be there from Tuesday, from the very first day. Unfortunately, I have to save my time off requests, and you guys know I work weekends, so I cannot stay throughout the entire event. So come and hang out, say hello if you guys want to meet me in person. Damn, that's so cool, Crackalack, and I gotta check it out. I did see the video from Many Builds with the trailer, and it looks so good, man. The L1011, I remember it back in when I was a kid in San Juan, here in Orlando International, TWA, ATA, American, Delta. So I'm trying to think of what foreign airlines used to come over here. I don't remember. But yeah, the L1011 just has a classic look, right? When you look at the DC-10, the MD-11, they're pretty similar, right? MD-11's got the winglets. DC-10's obviously a little bit shorter than the MD-11, but the L1011 in a tri-jet config, it stands out against the McDonnell Douglas competitor. So beautiful, beautiful airplane. All right, I'm gonna get those mixture handles full rich here. Leveling off here at 3,500 feet. Let's check our before landing checklist. Auxiliary fuel pumps to low. Again, I'm going to follow the checklist. Gear precision lights will go to green once we drop them down, verify they're down. Light test required, wing flaps down to 45 degrees, prop sync off, propellers check, AC and cabin heat as required.
Romeo Charlie, turn left heading 105.
Left turn heading 105 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. 105. Uh-oh. EFB is dead. Well. VNAV. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep my RPMs there for now. Once I'm setting myself up on that final approach course, then I'll go max RPM on the prop levers, and then we'll adjust with our throttles.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, proceed direct Sunsu. Descend and maintain 1300 feet until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 3 approach.
All right, direct Zunzu, descend and maintain 1,300 until established. Clear for the RNAV Zulu runway 3 for 427 Romeo Charlie. There we go. So we're gonna go direct. Let's go to the flight plan. Let's find Zunzu, activate. We're gonna go nav. Continue descending to 1,300. Open up my cowl flaps now before I forget. That's going to introduce a little bit of drag, but not too much. Yeah, Truck and Dad. I don't know what happened, man. My iPad died. Feet to go. All right, let's reduce power. We're getting a little bit fast here. Hazy, but I don't see those broken clouds at 2,500 feet like the 8 is called. I'm happy with that. We're about to level off at 1,300. We've been cleared for the RNAV Zulu, runway 3. There we go, 1,300 captured. Trying to slow us down here. All right, so we're below 170 knots indicated. We can definitely bring gear down. I just want to keep flying inbound. Once we turn on that final approach course, should be A-OK. Let's go max RPM on the props. There we go, mixture full rich, prop levers full forward, cowl flaps are open. Fuel tank selector to main. Get on the power. And I'm gonna arm approach mode. You can see the GP for glide path is showing on the GFC 600. There we go. I think I see the field. Yeah, that looks like runway 3 right there. Man, you guys are making me want to check out that L1011. Miles to go. Make that left turn to intercept the final approach course.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Charleston Tower on 126.0.
Tower on 126.0 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. We're gonna set this to 031, final approach course. Charleston Tower, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie, inbound Zuzu about a mile to the west, inbound for the RNAV Zulu runway 3 approach.
Chancellor 427, Romeo Charlie, Charleston International Airport Tower, roger. Continue approach runway 3.
Continue approach runway 3 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Okay, there goes the flight director. There's a turn to intercept that final approach course. Let's go gear down. Landing lights and taxi lights on. And we've got good glide path capture there. Let's go flaps 10. We're in the wide arc there.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, wind 060 at 17 gusting 27. Runway 3 cleared to land.
Runway 3 cleared to land for Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie. Let's get flaps to 45. Winds are going to be fighting us. Let's set this to our missed approach procedure, altitude 3000. Two white, two red. Looking good. Green, landing gear down and locked, flaps full, mixture full rich, RPM, max power, prop sync is off, lights as required. I'd say we've got a good bird. Let's get on the power, the winds are gusting here. And let's go ahead and turn off yaw damper, autopilot off. Still that flight director. Get back on course here. My controls. A little tricky. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Winds are kicking my ass.
American 3547, hold short of runway 21.
2-1, fully short, American 3547.
Don't cross the runway, American. Don't you dare. Speed off the airspeed. Just kick the rudder over here. Coming in hot. Look at this, just floating. Right wing down into the wind. Whoa, lagging there. Look at this, we're just floating. Almost clipped the nose of that A320 here. Or A321. Well, not my greatest one. Winds kicked my ass there.
Wind 060 at 17 gusting 27. Runway
Oh, trucking that would suck, man. Losing an engine right there.
Cleared to land, Delta 2179.
All right, let's vacate here to the right.
American 3547, hold short of runway 21.
Fully short of
Let's
runway
get those
21,
aux fuel pumps off.
3547.
Flaps up.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, exit at Alpha 1 if able. Contact ground on 121.9er.
All right, exit when able. We'll contact ground 1219er for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. Whew, that was interesting. Getting some lag here. You see the stutters when I'm looking around? That is really weird. Oh well. Ground, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie clear of runway 3 at Foxtrot, requesting taxi to Atlantic. Oh wait, signature's over there.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, not clear. Say again.
Ground, Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie clear of runway 3, requesting taxi to signature.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, cross runway 33.
You don't even give me his taxi instruction.
Chancellor 7 Romeo
Charlie, taxi to Signature Aviation via Foxtrot, hold short of runway 33, then Golf. Good day.
Foxtrot and Golf, hold short of 33 for Chancellor 427 Romeo Charlie. And ground, just to clarify, are we clear to cross 33? I thought I heard you say cross 33 at Foxtrot.
Chancellor 7 Romeo Charlie, cross runway 33, then continue taxi via Golf.
All right, cross 33 at Foxtrot, then continue via Foxtrot Golf to Signature for 27 Romeo Charlie. Landing lights on, strobe lights on.
Approaching runway 33.
Damn, man, this airport's killing my performance. This is crazy.
Runway 3, taxi via Golf Alpha, hold short of runway 33, then Charlie Diamond 7 Romeo Charlie.
Strobes off, landing lights off. There's Signature. Make the left here. We're gonna find a hole here to park. Look at that. That is Cessna 340, I believe, right there. Another classic Cessna twin engine. Premier, the ugly jet, as I like to call it. Phenom 100. I forget what Cessna model that is over there. 330. No, not 336. There's a Duke. Look at that. A Diamond. Looks like a DA42. And he's taxiing out. Cool. All right, parking brake is set. Let's go ahead and kill all lights. Cabin heat can come off. Let's set transponder off. There we go. Let's go ahead and kill the mixture. Bring those mags. Can I hit the crash bar? There we go. Alternators off. Avionics off. And let's kill battery. Let me get that crash bar down. Let's enable the control lock. My EFB is dead. Let's see if it recharged. Nope, it died. Damn. All right, let's go ahead and let our passengers out here, as we like to do. How do I open this? There we go. I gotta push it somewhere. Yep. Upper door first. Do the thingy. Listen to that. That does sound so good, though. Can I re-enable my chocks, though? No. I think I'll have to go through the EFP if it was charged, and I don't know how to charge it. So, anyways, guys, let me look at the chat here for a second. I was busy on the approach face there. I know you guys were talking a lot there. I know you guys were talking about the L1011, the Synaptic A220 project. That's going to be crazy, man. I can't wait for that to come out. We never got to try it out. Flacco and I were up at Rhode Island last year, and we did not get the opportunity to sit down and try it because, as you can imagine, there was a lot of people in line waiting for it. The same thing for the Bluebird 757. They had an early build being demoed there, and you can actually fly it, but the wait times were incredibly long, and our time there was a little bit limited, so we wanted to just explore the convention as a whole instead of trying to spend an hour or two on one particular item, you know, like flying the Bluebird or the Synaptic. So I can't wait for that, man. Kraken saying that was, oh, that landing was an experience. Yeah, man. I don't think it was replay worthy. Again, those winds were challenging. As you can see, I need to do some more practice on the 414. She kicked my ass today, but I really felt better knowing that I had Trucking Dad, Gramps Aviation, and a few of you guys recommending what to do to help get better performance. So I don't know, I still like it though. I still enjoy this plane. Can I get my rudder gust lock on? No. My passengers don't want to get off the airplane. That's a first. Yeah, she's good looking, isn't it, Mr. Anderson? Look at that, man. This is peak 70s and 80s right here, man. Such a beautiful airplane, man. Have there ever been any turbine conversions for these? I know we've got the Conquest, right? Like the 441. Those are the turbo prop versions somewhat of these airplanes, or like some type of evolution, but I don't think I've ever seen a 414 or a 421 really evolve like that. Yeah, I feel the same way, Crack-a-lacking. I don't know. I forgot that the EFB actually died. That's realistic, I guess, but I don't know. I can do without it. Can I open my cargo doors here? Nope. No, man. See, that's the thing. You have to do it with the EFB, but if the EFB is dead, can't really do much. Oh yeah, Crack-a-lackin'. The C195, yeah, it is awesome. I've flown it a couple times. Fun little plane. And yeah, Truck and Det, you're right. Yeah, the Conquest, right? That's what I'm thinking about. That's pretty much the turboprop versions of these airplanes. Pretty badass too. But I like the piston variants. They're just notorious. They look good, sound good, they fly good. So things to learn for myself here after this live stream and flying the Chancellor once again. I'm going to check my control bindings and make sure that I have a designated profile for the Chancellor, because I think that's what's happening. You guys, I think, are on the money. I'm going to check that offline here once I get off the air, and I'm just going to set up a custom profile. So if you guys are on the Honeycomb Bravo, make sure you do the same as well, just in case there's some type of conflict happening, because you guys saw that behavior was not normal. Crack-a-lackin', was it you that I was watching fly the Turbo Duke the other day? Yeah, that was a Turbine Duke. I took off from Culebras, just east of Puerto Rico, and we were in some bad weather. We were VFR. We got into some IMC conditions, and I had to try to get a pop-up IFR. It was shaky. SayIntentions was not quite behaving as it should. It was picking up an old flight plan, and it was clearing me to go to Ontario, California from Puerto Rico on a Turbine Duke. Yeah, that's not happening. So eventually I ended up just talking to the tower directly, and I told them, listen, man, I need vectors for the RNAV, runway 9 into San Juan, Isla Grande, the small airport, and it finally caught up and gave me what I needed. So that was fun. Yep, Truck and Dat, the same thing they did to the 210 Papa. Yep, I've seen a couple of those, the Silver Eagles with the Rolls-Royce turboprop. When I saw that 5-blade monster on a 210, I was like, what in the hell? Like, how does that thing not vibrate and break apart and fly? It's beyond me, man. It's phenomenal seeing that monster of a power plant on a 210. As if the Centurion didn't already perform great. Now you throw a turboprop, you pressurize that cabin. The small cockpit windows and the small cabin windows, that's one of the distinctive features of a pressurized 210 and on the turboprop conversions. Yeah, those are crazy, man. All right, guys, well, I am going to get off the air here. You guys know I like to get off the air around here around 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern. I think tonight I do have some time. I'm going to be coming back online. Hopefully Captain Flacco, if he's out there watching, hopefully he can join me tonight so we can do some dual stream action. And yeah, we'll see where tonight takes us. I don't have anything planned. I think I'm going to stow the 414 for tonight. I want to get more hands on it, more practice before I go live again. Maybe we'll do some airliner stuff. We've been doing a lot of GA stuff for the past 3 weeks, ever since the Black Sphere Caravan came out, the SimWorks Studios Kodiak came out. Maybe we'll do an airline flight. I know it's boring. I know it's cliche, but I don't know. I kind of miss flying something a little bit more complicated or easier in a way, right? Because we've got all this automation and stuff. So maybe we'll be doing that. All right, fellas. Well, no, thank you guys, man. Thank you guys, really. Truck and Dad, you're a hero, man. Mr. Anderson, glad to see you back. Crack-a-lacking, good to see you back. And all of you guys watching really means the world to me that you guys take time out of your days to watch a fool like myself fly planes in flight sim. I haven't crashed yet. I haven't died yet, right? So that's a plus. And it's like we say in the pilot community, any landing you walk away from is a good landing, but your passengers might have something other to say. So guys, I have to make this disclaimer. Don't, and here's why I'm saying this. Hold on, let me turn off SayIntentions. I've been coming across several comments on YouTube, right, from tutorials and live streams, and people use the following phrase: if this was a check ride, I would have failed you and ended the flight already. And I laugh because I argue, at what point in any live stream or tutorial did I say, hey guys, this is professional, take this for real world flying, I promise you're gonna learn this 100%. I never say that, guys. Okay, so I try to be humble, I try to be honest when I make mistakes. You saw me earlier, right? I was consulting with you, Truck and Dad. Gramps, if you're still on, I was talking to you. When I need help, I have no problem asking if I know I've got people watching me that know how to operate and fly these planes better than I do. So guys, again, take everything I do and say and show you with a grain of salt, with a bag of salt, okay? Practice on your own. Don't take anything I say or do as official. And if you're looking at a guy on YouTube and trying to apply this for real world flying, you are wrong, my friends. You're very wrong. I am not a certified flight instructor. Hell, I'm not even instrument rated yet. I'm just getting ready to start my instrument training. So what I'm doing here is purely for entertainment and enjoyment. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I have to, okay, guys? Because some people take this a little bit too seriously and they get into that DPE mentality and they're like, oh, I would have failed you. That's great. That's fine. But that's not the point of my live streams or my tutorials. We always try to tell you guys this is very basic, rudimentary knowledge levels, because we want you guys out there that are newer to the flight sim community to not be so intimidated by flying complicated airplanes. And you guys can see I make mistakes just like we all do. So guys, take that as it is. I'm not professional, I'm not an expert, I'm just having fun, spending my free time, the little free time that I have, enjoying my time with you guys online. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Let me see, going back to the comments. Truck and Dad, exactly, it's a game, it's a simulator, but it's a game. Like, come on guys. I feel like, I don't know, one of these days I'm gonna run into like a legit DPE and maybe I'll end up flying with them in real world and they're gonna be like, you're the idiot that was doing this. And if that happens, I think we're gonna have a great time. They're gonna make my life a living hell. But you know what, until then, again, it's a game. Truck and Dad, you said it best. This is a game. This is for entertainment purposes only. So there we go. That's the legal disclaimer, guys. Don't take anything I do, say, or act upon as real world instruction. You are wrong if you're doing that, okay? And even if I was a CFI, I would make that very clear. We're in a simulator, a game, okay, guys? So I feel like I have to say that. I shouldn't have to say it, but I do. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point, Truck and Dad. I just try to have a good time, have fun, interact with you guys, and just showcase good landings, bad flying, good flying. I do it all. I don't like editing out mistakes. If you guys have seen my initial Boeing 737 MAX tutorial from a year and change ago when the sim first came out, watch that landing. Just skip through everything. Just watch the landing. My sim rate was sped up, and I did a Ryanair landing that had me landing on in Ontario, California, and I think I ended up on the grass. And I could have edited that. I could have edited. I could have recorded that whole segment again. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep it honest. I want you guys to roast me in the comments, but again, do so with the mentality that this is for entertainment only. All right. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Anderson. It's just, we need to relax and have a good time, man. Truck and Dad, I will, brother. I'm gonna hit you up here in a few minutes. I'm gonna get off the air. Looks like my baby boy is waking up, so that's my cue to get off the air. I got to get some lunch ready for myself and him. He runs the household, I don't. So that should give you an idea of my current condition. So I'll be hanging out, being a stay-at-home dad for the rest of the day. Again, tonight, maybe after 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys are looking for us live on the air. If you don't see Captain Flacco and I will try to at least get myself back on. If for whatever reason that does not happen, you'll expect to see me tomorrow around the same time, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, just a little bit afternoon. That way you guys can tune in and have some fun along with me. And once again, guys, Sun and Fun next week, Lakeland. If you're planning on attending, I will be there working at the Flight Sim Tech Center with Desktop Pilot. If you're unfamiliar, they make great replicas of the Cessna cockpits. They've got trim wheels, parking handles. They've got the what do you call those? The veneer controls, right, for your throttle, prop lever, and mixture. They've got it all, and we got to expo and demo some of their products last year in Rhode Island. pretty awesome stuff, especially, you know, coming from a Cessna 172. That's what I fly and train in most of the time. So if you guys want to come and meet me in person, if you want to roast me in person, let's do it, man. Let's have some fun, man. Again, I'm all for that. Come see me in person and tell me, dude, you suck. You should stick to trains or cars. That's fine, man. I tell you, I have a great sense of humor, and I promise off camera, off the air, off YouTube, you're going to see my sense of humor goes a lot farther than I showcase through the channel. Remember, this is a family-friendly environment, so I try to keep it professional. But guys, come meet me. Hang out with me. Captain Flacco will be there Thursday and Friday. I will be there from Tuesday to Friday at the Flight Sim Tech Center working with Desktop Pilot, and we're going to be helping them showcase those great products, having some fun, and then we can all grab some beers, grab some food, grab some drinks, whatever you guys want. Let's go enjoy the air show. Again, Lakeland next week starting April 14th. Come find me, Captain Gonzo, at the Flight Sim Tech Center with Desktop Pilot. Guys, I'm going to get off the air, and yeah, Trucking Dad, I'll be hitting you up here momentarily, brother. Guys, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hopefully you can learn something, and hopefully we'll be flying the 414 again very soon. Captain Gonzo, that Flight Sim channel. Have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. We'll see you on the next one.